welcome back to the channel, welcome to another video. You join me for my new series, Bargain Heroes. For this week's episode, I'm in my own Mk5 Golf GTI. This car fun. We're on the British back roads, the B roads, and let me tell you, this car is insanely fun. It's got a lot of low down torque, stick in third gear, you can catapult out of corners, and the car is incredibly well balanced. I just feel confidence in every single turn that the car won't let me down. It just grips and grips and grips. And the feedback from the car is really good as well. The steering is really nicely weighted. You can always just turn it in, you just point the car and it just goes. And the noises as well, you can hear the exhaust, you can hear the turbo spooling. When you come off the accelerator you hear the wheech. It's honestly a really fun car to drive on these roads, and it's these. Put this in, the specs are really good. I've got dual climate control, I've got this with Bluetooth, Android Auto, CarPlay, got auto lights, I've got cruise control. I mean, what more could you want? Auto dimming, wired up a dash cam, no problem. Mirrors heated, 5 doors. What more could you want from a car? And the price you're paying, the amount of car you're getting is ridiculous. So let's get back on the roads. Of course they're reliable, they're Golfs, German made, solid cars. Now, I mean, I picked up my car 102,000 miles and I only changed a few things. I changed the diverter valve because it felt a bit low in power, changed the PCV, relatively cheap parts, cheap to do, and took the car to EcoTune Scotland, shout out, and the car put out 205 on the dyno. I mean, stock figures for this car is 197, so it's putting out even more than it should have. So these engines are really solid. The only known weak point on these is the cam follower. My car was a completely stock car, I bought it, had 102,000 miles on it, checked the cam follower and it was actually okay. For preventative maintenance I just got it changed. I think the cam followers go and bits of metal can get into your engine and cause a lot of problems. But again, that's mainly on cars that have been tuned to maybe a higher stage or have upgraded high pressure fuel pumps. And it's a really inexpensive thing to change. It cost me about 30 quid for the part, and a lot of people just do it themselves. So overall I'd say these cars are really reliable. I mean, over time you're quite getting dark. I've got the footwell LEDs, RCD 330, check out my mod videos for all the stuff I've done to this car. Let's go on to the exterior. Diamond cut alloys, R32 lights, R32 exhaust conversion, graphite blue, quick walk around, diamond cut alloys, red calipers as standard, and I really like the look of these cars. They've got the GTI red, and it's really subtle as well. Personally, I love the looks. And I love the spec as well. Cruise control, auto lights, all the good stuff. I love the spec, and I've got the RCD 330, I love that, but I love the looks. With the diamond cut alloys, and with the front grille. And you know, I've got a private plate on mine, it looks like a very modern car. And also the power. You get a decent amount of power, you can have a decent amount of fun in it. And a grown-up car. Okay, what do I dislike about it? What I dislike about it is the fuel consumption in and around town, here and there. It's not really the best, but then what can you expect from a 2-litre turbocharged car? What I don't like is it's a very grown-up car, and that's a good thing in many respects, as in the car's very practical, very refined. So in that sense it's a good thing, it's a grown-up car, it's got good spec, it's well built, it's solid. But it's not the sort of car that you'd rev out to 6,000 revs and, you know, have that kind of fun. And those cars are a dying breed. My Ford Fiesta 1.6, that was a very revvy car. You just rev it out and rev it all the way up. This car, I just use the low down power in third, fourth gear. I'll rev it maybe from 2,000 all the way to 4, and then I'll change. And then fourth gear will give me that same urgency, that same torque, but I won't really rev them out and have that kind of driving fun. Okay, what's the car like in and around town? So I'm just driving on a 30 road. The car's very composed, feels good, it's a Golf, easy to drive, nice and small, so if you're in town it's tight, in and out, park it nice and easy, lovely car in and around town. Only complaint would be for town driving or city driving is your MPG is not going to be the best. Okay, how reliable is this car? You can get up to speed nice and quick. 50. Chilling. On the motorway, these cars are brilliant. You got cruise control, you just stick on cruise control. Cars are fine, dead easy to drive. Steering's nice. I mean, what else? You got six gears, just drop it into 6th and you're chilling. And overtaking power, you've got that torque. I could overtake in 5th gear if I wanted. Look, actually I could probably do it in 6th. I'm in 6th gear right now. I've got all the pulling power I need. Nice and easy. Road noise, not that much. Motorway, it's a good car. Really good for motorway journeys. And MPG as well. MPG on the motorway is quite good. I've driven at about 65 miles per hour for maybe a 15-mile journey, 20-30 minute journey, and I've got 40 MPG before. If you're taking more passengers, I had 5 passengers once. I drove for about 2 hours down to Dundee. I got maybe like 33, 34 MPG, but that's just the extra weight and driving a bit faster, about 70 miles an hour. But on the motorway it's really nice, really easy. You've got all the power you need. You've got cruise control, you've got the refinement. So yeah, it's nice. So, does the car have enough power? I mean, the car's faster than most on the road. Compared to contemporary hot hatches, it's not fast at all, because you have Golf R's, RS3 4-wheel drive systems. But I mean, that doesn't take away from any of the fun you can have with this car, especially on the British back roads. The power, I got used to the power quite quickly, I'll be honest. But with a remap, you can gain 50 horsepower and go to 250 and get a nice wee bump up in torque. The way I'd explain the stock power of the car is, you have a wee bit of turbo lag, and then you have a bit of pull, a spike of pull, and then the car kind of just drops off from there. So that wee bit of turbo lag, a nice bit of pull, and the car drops off. I've actually driven a stage 1 car, and I'd say definitely do it if you have a Mk5 Golf GTI. What it does is, after the turbo lag, when you have that initial pull, it prolongs that. So the car just keeps pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. So you get a more linear map. The one I drove, the map on it was from APR. And I think you shouldn't be scared to remap your cars if you're going with someone reputable. APR, Revo, Artec, they all have good reputations, and they've put lots of hours into making sure the maps are safe for the car. So yeah, I'd say power wise, 200's nice, faster than most cars. You can get used to it, but you can also get a remap. Now the thing with these cars is, if you want a lot of power, you can always do a KO4 turbo conversion, like TR Hums on his channel. He's doing a turbo conversion. You can buy the Edition 30. Stage 1 remap on that takes you to 300 horsepower. People are running them near 400, no problem. And you know, to think that an Edition 30 you can get for about £5,000 and you can put that kind of power through it is really, really something. And these cars are really... If you're not going to drive the car for what it is, and you're just going to potter in and around town and here and there, and you're not going to let the car warm up properly, you're always on short journeys, I wouldn't recommend this car. Yeah, it's nice, yeah, you can have some fun here and there, but your MPG is going to be horrible, and what's it worth? If you're a car enthusiast, 100% buy this car, because for the amount of money you get a lot of power. You start with 200, stage 1, 250, stage 2, 280. You buy an Edition 30, still very cheap, 5,000 to 6,000. you can get 380, shy of 400 horsepower relatively easily, and they're really quick cars by today's standards. They're right up there for a front wheel drive car. And you've also got a car that's more unique, so I'd definitely recommend these cars. For the more casual buyer, the car gives you everything as well. You've got, in mine I've got 5 doors, a good boot, it's a Golf, it's practical, it's refined. The only thing that does let it down a bit is fuel consumption, but that being said, if you have some motorway miles, you have some A roads, you can get good MPG. I was just gunning it down some B roads. I'm on 30.3 MPG. I'm doing okay for the amount of power that I've got for a 2 litre petrol engine. But that being said, you need to think a bit about your journey, because you'll only really get up to those higher figure MPGs if you have a longer commute where the car can warm up and it can get into its element on, say, like the motorway, where you get good efficiency. Even A road going fast, if you're holding your speed, you'll get good economy. But I feel like if you've got very short journeys, it's not really worth owning a car like this. Another thing to point out is these cars are really easy to work on. Before this, I'd never done any work on a car. I'd only changed my cabin filter on the Fiesta. This car, I've changed the spark plugs, the PCV, the vacuum pump. I've put that exhaust on with the help of a friend. I've done quite a lot, and I've done a lot of mods to it. I've changed the stereo, changed the CAN bus gateway, coded that up. You know, the amount of resources for this car on YouTube, and Pelican Parts have guides online. I've got the Haynes manual. They're really easy cars to work on, and they're rewarding as well. Okay, thanks for watching the first episode of Bargain Heroes. I mean, Mk5 GTI. Expect lots of cars to come. That's the kind of direction I'm taking the channel in, looking at cheap older cars you can buy. Thanks a lot for watching, and peace.